How human lie detector can read your mind. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell. These days, investigating criminals has become trickier. Human rights laws and the presumption of innocence mean you can't just pressure or intimidate a suspect. But what if a witness is lying? How can you uncover the truth without threats or torture? In the movie, Now You See Me, Woody Harrelson plays a mentalist who casually figures out a stranger's affair with just a few questions. Of course, that's fiction. But here's the twist, according to Joe Navarro, a real former FBI agent and body language expert. There actually is a way to read people's minds. It's all about observing the tiny shifts in someone's behavior or facial expressions. See, conversation isn't just about words. Over 60% of communication comes from body language, things like gestures, posture, and facial expressions. And the reason we give away so much? That's thanks to the limbic system, often called the mammalian brain. It's the part of your brain that handles emotions like fear and helps you survive by triggering the 3 classic responses to threats: freeze, flight, or fight. Here's how it works. If you lie, your prefrontal cortex, the human thinking brain, makes up the story. But your anterior cingulate cortex notices something's wrong and alerts the limbic system. The limbic system instantly prepares your body for danger. Your rational brain might try to hide it afterward, but it's too late. These physical reactions are lightning fast, faster than the time it takes to block a bullet traveling 300 meters per second. Okay, you're not actually stopping a bullet, but you get the idea. Forensic experts call physical marks from protecting yourself defensive wounds. They can even look at an injury on a child's arm and tell if it's from parental abuse. That's because your arms are frontline survival tools, and they reveal a lot about your emotions and intentions. When people feel dissatisfied or challenged, they often unconsciously spread their arms wide, just like a chimp puffing up its fur. It's a subtle dominance display, part of the fight response, showing power and staking out personal space. American Airlines flight attendants actually use this. At the ticket counter, they note how wide a passenger's arms are to flag potential troublemakers. On the flip side, when you feel uncomfortable or threatened, your arms instinctively close in to protect your body. Crossing your arms, clutching a handbag, or hugging a pillow isn't about looking aloof, it's a self-protective flight behavior. Our brains also like to turn abstract feelings into physical actions. For example, someone feeling guilty might literally try to wash away their guilt by washing their hands or taking frequent showers. Covering or closing the eyes is another tell. It's your body's way of saying, I don't want to see this information. That's why when you hear bad news, you might close your eyes tightly and bow your head. This is so instinctive that even people born blind do it. Then there's what Navarro calls pacifying behaviors, small, self-soothing gestures learned from social norms. Under stress or when lying, women might massage the suprasternal notch, the dip between the collarbones, while men might rub their neck or loosen their tie. Navarro once interviewed a suspect's mother, convinced her fugitive son was hiding at her house. Every time she mentioned him, her hand went to that same spot on her chest. That was enough for him to get a search warrant, and sure enough, they found her son inside. So far, we've focused on the upper body, but British anthropologist Desmond Morris found that legs and feet are the most honest parts of the body. Why? Because for our ancestors, survival meant moving them fast. Even expert poker players can control their faces and hands, but their excitement or anxiety still leaks into their legs. Plus, since legs are often hidden under tables, people don't bother to fake them, making them a goldmine of truth. Legs and feet unconsciously point where we want to go. If someone's foot starts angling away during your conversation, they may be ready to leave. If you approach a group and their feet and bodies don't turn toward you, you're probably not welcome. Shoving your legs under a chair to stop fidgeting? That's a freeze response. Crossing your legs to form a barrier? That's a flight response. If you connect these reactions to the moment they happen, you can spot lies or tell when someone just doesn't like you. Of course, this goes beyond arms, legs, and posture. You can read signals from the face, hands, torso, everywhere. But here's the key. Body language doesn't always mean the same thing. Tilting the head could mean comfort in one context and disappointment in another. You have to consider the context. For example, Navarro once consulted on a contract negotiation. He noticed the negotiator's lips purse ever so slightly when a specific clause was mentioned. That told him they didn't like it. They adjusted that one clause and ended up saving $13.5 million. This is more than just lie detection or figuring out if someone likes you. There's even something called the facial feedback hypothesis, the idea that it's not just emotions creating expressions, but expressions creating emotions. One study found that reading the name Jurgen, which makes your lips pucker, made people feel slightly more unpleasant than reading Peter, which stretches your lips into a smile-like shape. In other words, if you change your posture or expression, you're not just sending a positive signal to others, you can actually change your own emotional state. Now, learning to read body language won't turn you into a Hollywood-level mind reader overnight, but it will give you one of the most powerful communication cheat codes you can use in everyday life. All right, ready to put it into practice? Let's stick to it together.